Well, what do we have here? A chance to share some funnies, is it? All right, let's get this show on the road. Ever heard the one about the psychic midget who escaped from prison? The headlines read, "Small, medium at large." Ah, the classics never get old. Speaking of classics, here's a tale from my childhood. When I was about 6, my mother told me I could be anything I wanted when I grew up. So naturally, I decided I wanted to be a dinosaur. I'd stomp around the house, roaring at everyone and everything. My sister wasn't too thrilled about this, especially when I decided she was on the menu for my T-Rex dinner. Now, fast forward a few years and I'm in high school. The career counselor asks me what I want to be. I said, a dinosaur. She looked at me like I'd grown a second head. "You can't be a dinosaur," she said. "That's not a real job." I told her, "Well, you should have told that to my 6-year-old self. He's going to be devastated." Segueing into the realm of the absurd, do you ever stop and think about the fact that one day in the Jurassic period there was a dinosaur who was the very last one to die? Imagine being that guy. I mean, talk about FOMO. And speaking of FOMO, here's a story about my buddy Fred. Fred has a phobia of missing out on sales. One Black Friday, he camped outside the store for 3 days straight, just to be the first in line. He was so tired by the time the doors opened, he fell asleep and missed the whole thing. But back to dinosaurs. I'm still not over my childhood dream of becoming one. So I did the next best thing. I got myself a pet lizard and named him Rex. One day, I introduced him to my high school career counselor. She was not amused. But you know who was amused? My sister. She looked at Rex, then at me, and said, "Well, I guess that's one way to live out your dinosaur dreams. Just don't try to eat me this time." And on that note, let's circle back to the beginning, shall we? Remember the psychic midget who escaped from prison? Well, I heard he was last seen at a pet store trying to buy a lizard. I guess he heard about my brilliant plan and decided to become a dinosaur too. And so the circle of life continues. That's all for today, folks. Remember, life's too short to be normal. Be a dinosaur if you want to, just don't eat your sister.